Hello, I am Jody Wolf, and you're watching EXPOZ. Today, March 28, 2011, and it's 36 minutes after midnight, Birmingham, Alabama. Today's topic, the Middle East Crisis 2012. I can tell you what's going on. It started many years ago, about 1,300 plus years ago, and I won't go there right now, but the entire bottom line was to make sure that the Sunnis will rise to power, because the Sunnis hate the Shiites and the Sunnis outnumber the Shiites, and the Shiites are the ones that are the evil of the Muslims. Okay? Now, the Sunnis will work with any coalition that will overthrow the Shiites, however a price comes with it. And you know what that price is, called oil. This is bad news for America, because the reason Obama and Bush didn't drill for oil, which would have made us 100% independent upon any country, is because the Middle East controls America in a way. Now, that's the price to bring the Sunnis to power. And it'll make sense in a minute. They make trillions in oil, and the Shiites and Iran will go away, they hope. 1,300 years and it hadn't happened yet. But anyway, Allah is a moon god. Period. On their flag you have the moon crescent and a sword. The Bible says, live by the sword, die by the sword. Remember, Jesus cut off, John cut off the ear of a Roman soldier. And Jesus took the ear and put it back on the Roman soldier and told John, put the sword down. We don't live by the sword. So the sword is on the flag of the Muslim. And so is the crescent moon, which means Allah. Allah. There is no such thing. Here's what they want. Well, to start with, Allah is a moon god. Simple, plain, he's a moon god. Their religion does not have, get this, love thy God or love thy neighbor as thyself. In their religion, you cannot love Allah. You can't love Allah, the moon god, in their religion. In the Quran, only Muslims love Muslims. They want to kill Jews on Saturday. That's their Sabbath. They want to kill the Christians on Sunday. That's our Sabbath. Kill the Hindus, the Buddhists, and the blacks in Africa, in America, anywhere, any day. Then the Muslims will slaughter each other. Islam is a religion of peace when every human is dead. They say, Allahu Akbar, meaning my God is greater than your God, and then, boom, they kill themselves along with a number of other people. The God of the Christians and Jews is a God of love, and will be here when they're gone. Now, the trigger of broken peace throughout the Middle East, let me tell you what happened, why this started, why the rioting started. There was a man in Tunisia. He was in the town of Tunis in Tunisia. He had a curb paper stand. You know, so many do. They have paper stands. They have places to buy food, you know, garments. They have all kinds of things. But today they picked on this man. They said, where's your permit? He said, well, you know, I don't have a permit. So they arrested him and carried him to jail and kind of beat him up a little bit on the way. But when he got to jail, here was the kicker. He was slapped in the face by a woman cop. I'll say it again. He was slapped in the face by a lady police officer. Everyone knows that for a woman to hit a man in this religion is the ultimate disgrace. And the whole town knew this had happened. In fact, probably half of the country by this time. Well, then the man was released, and he proceeded to pour gasoline over his head in self-sacrifice. He burned to death. The city was behind this man, and this is the first of all the riots to break out. The first one in Tunisia, and it moved on and on and on. Let me explain a little bit more. Islam, Allah, Allahu Akbar, which is of the Islamic Radical Muslim Brotherhood and Radical Islamic Quran believers. The Muslim Brotherhoods are Sunnis. So the difference between Sunnis and Shiites. Now I'm confused here, but this is what I got. They have been warring for over 1,300 years. And will never be over till one or the other are erased. Muhammad said there are two camps here. One must be destroyed. So they, the Sunnis, the Shiites, have been fighting ever since. The winner gets all the spoils: gold, silver, slaves, land, all riches, and oil, and will go to heaven. Now, I want to throw two things in here. These are some things at last minute addition. In Indonesia, there are 200 million Sunnis. Indonesia, 200 million Sunnis. So I believe that makes Obama a Sunni. The very ones who are taking over all of the Middle East. So you see and pay attention who Obama sides with. You'll see that he's a Sunni. Now, I'm going to tell you something that a lot of people don't know. The Oklahoma Federal Building blast, Timothy McVeigh and Perry Nichols were, guess who? They were front men for Islamic agenda that were front men for Saddam Hussein himself. I said it right. McVeigh and Nichols were front men for an Islamic agenda that were paid for by Saddam Hussein. The man in Kansas that sold the 1 1/4 ton of fertilizer to McVeigh, or I'm sorry, not to McVeigh, but to 3 Middle Easterners, called the FBI and told the FBI. The FBI went in, took over the whole job where they're going to figure this out, take the reports, deal with that. Well, they did, and it went away. Last anybody heard, the FBI were looking for the third van. One, as you know, blew up at the Oklahoma Federal Building. They found one at the Dallas-Fort Worth Airport, and one is still missing. The 3 Middle Eastern men took off on a plane and flew to the Middle East out of Dallas-Fort Worth. Something I thought I would throw in there. They'll do anything, anyhow, anyway to kill anybody. Now, don't get me wrong. If you yield and go their route, which that chance will come up one day, you have to do it or you don't do it. One of the two. And again, they have to cut my head off. You know where I stand. Jody Wolf, EXPOZ.